Hello friends, in this video we will see some beautiful questions from machine design, which is your fifth topic in the syllabus for your assistant motor vehicle inspector AMA TSPSC. This is not included in your APPSC syllabus, friends. Certain syllabus is not covered for APPSC AMA automobile engineering. Actually friends, the syllabus which is coinciding for your APPSC and TSPSC automobile engineering paper is only 30%, 70% is totally different. So for the students who are going to appear for both the examinations, you have to be very careful, friends. You have to study the 30% common syllabus for both examinations and 70% individual syllabus for your TSPSC and APPSC. So be careful in choosing the examinations. My suggestion is, friends, either write TSPSC or APPSC. If you are prepared for writing both the examinations, you should cover probably 30% common syllabus and 70. How much it is? 70 plus 70 plus 30, 160% of the syllabus you have to cover. So just think it over, friends, before appearing for both the examination APPSC and TSPSC. And of course, one more thing you have to consider is that for APPSC people, the reservation in TSPSC or Telangana is only 5%, but whereas I think it is 20% for Telangana people in Andhra. So you have to be very choosy while appearing for both the examination, friends. Keep this in mind. Just it is my only suggestion. Then your decision. Now let us see in this video some beautiful questions from machine design. For bolts of uniform strength, the shank diameter is equal to, shank diameter is the solid portion diameter of a bolt, right? So shall it be major diameter of threads or nominal diameter of threads or pitch diameter of threads or minor diameter of threads? Minor diameters of threads is also called core diameter DC, and major diameter of the threads is also called nominal diameter, and it is denoted by DO, and minor diameter is denoted by DC, and pitch diameter is denoted by D. In normal situations where bolts are subjected to shock or impact loads, the stress in the threaded part of the bolt will be higher. Why? Because the material is removed, because it is threaded. How thread is formed? It is removed. It is formed by removing certain material from the cylindrical portion. So definitely in that portion, the stress will be higher than that in the shank. So hence a greater portion of the energy will be absorbed at the region of the threaded part, which may fracture the threaded part, threaded portion, because of its small length. And one more thing is that your area is removed. So stress is equal to load by area. So because the area is less here, the stress will be more, and the chances of failure will be in the threaded portion. Now if the shank of the bolt is turned down, so you are actually decreasing the diameter of the shank to the diameter equal or slightly less than the core diameter of the thread, then shank of the bolt will undergo a higher stress. This means that shank will absorb a larger portion of the energy because it is solid portion. Yes or no? And thus relieving the material at the sections near the thread from failure. So the answer is D. Right, friends, the maximum efficiency of self-locking screw, right? So self-locking screw, there are two screws, friends. One is overhauling screw and your self-locking screw. So there are two angles. One is the thread angle alpha, and another one is the phi, friction angle. So phi greater than alpha or less than alpha. So the threads are called, so your screws are called overhauling screw and your self-locking screw. Please check it, friends, actually. Right. So the question comes whether torque is required for lowering the load also. Right. There are two equations for torque required for raising the load and also torque required for lowering the load. What is the torque required for raising the load? W into tan of alpha plus phi into d by 2. What is the torque required for lowering the load? W into tan phi minus alpha into d by 2, where W is the load to be lifted, D is the pitch circuit diameter of the screw, and phi and alpha are the friction angle and thread angle of the screw. Tan of phi, tan of the friction angle, is going to give the coefficient of friction. So please check the friends. So the maximum efficiency of a self-locking screw is definitely, it is always less than 50%. So neither it is 33%, 66% or 75%. It is because actually there has to be some friction angle. So actually if you derive, it is going to be turned out that the maximum efficiency of the self-locking screw will be equal to 1 by 2 minus some function of the friction angle. So definitely friction is going to be present, and tan of the friction is going to give the coefficient of friction. So this particular portion is going to be reduced, or value is going to be reduced. So 1 by 2 minus something. So the maximum efficiency is 1 by 2. That is, the maximum efficiency of a self-locking screw is 50% only. 50%. It is something like 1 by 2 minus tan square phi by 2. Phi is the friction angle, tan phi is equal to mu, or coefficient of friction. Right. The equivalent coefficient of friction mu dash for angular threads is equal to, is it mu cos beta or mu sin beta or mu dash cos beta or mu dash sin beta? Okay friends, actually the equivalent coefficient of friction for angular threads is, it is denoted by mu dash, and this will be equal to mu by cos beta. So in V threads, normal reaction acts at an angle beta, that is semi groove angle. So if 2 beta is the groove angle, beta is the semi groove angle. So the relationship between semi groove angle and the coefficient of friction mu is equal to, and also mu dash, that is the equivalent coefficient of friction, is equal to mu dash is equal to mu by cos beta. Okay, so cos beta will always be less than 1. So mu dash will be always equal to greater than mu. So mu dash by mu is going to be turning out to be more than 1. So the correct answer is mu by cos beta. Mu by cos beta. Number A. Option A is the correct answer. Sorry friends, option C. I am sorry. It is mu by cos beta, right? Right. The equivalent coefficient of friction for V threads is, right, once again same thing. So it is definitely, is it equal to actual coefficient of friction? So if you denote actual coefficient of friction by mu and equivalent coefficient of friction by mu dash, just now we have seen that mu dash is greater than mu, that is equivalent coefficient of friction is greater than actual coefficient of friction mu, that is equivalent coefficient of friction mu dash is always greater than actual coefficient of friction mu, right? So it is definitely B. The answer is B, greater than. The total angle of metric threads is 60. So 2 beta he has given 60 degrees. So beta is equal to 60 by 2, that is 30 degrees. If the actual coefficient of friction between the thread and nut is 0.15, then the value of equivalent coefficient of friction will be, so mu dash is asking, mu is equal to, he has given mu 0.15. So substitute mu dash is equal to mu by cos beta, that is mu dash is equal to mu, that is 0.15 by cos beta, cos of 30 degrees. It is going to be turn out to be 0.1732. So calculate cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2 friends. So 0.15 by root 3 by 2. That means it is going to be so 0.15 into 2 by root 3. So it will come out to be around 0.1732. The answer is A, 0.1732. Right. The maximum efficiency of a screw jack is a function of, so it is, you know that the condition for maximum efficiency of a square thread is given by alpha is equal to 45 pi by 4 minus 5 by 2. Alpha is the thread angle and phi is the friction angle. So alpha is equal to 45 degrees, that is pi by 4 radians minus 5 by 2. And if you substitute this condition in the maximum efficiency equation, I am going to get maximum efficiency of a screw jack. So in the screw jack we are going to use the square threads. Okay, just now I told the condition for maximum efficiency for screw jack which is having square threads. So substituting this condition, alpha is equal to 45 minus 5 by 2, I am going to get maximum efficiency of a screw jack is equal to 1 minus sin phi whole by 1 plus sin phi, where phi is the friction angle. So it is a function of sine, okay, sine of the friction angle. So the correct answer is angle of friction is the correct answer. So angle of friction, helix angle, screw jack, phi is the friction angle and alpha is the helix angle. Okay. So you can actually choose helix angle and angle of friction, but sometimes we have to take helix angle because actually it is involving alpha also, right? Alpha is equal to 45 minus 5 by 2. So helix angle is the correct answer. If we speak correctly, it should be angle of friction 5. Anyhow, let us mark this also, friends. So if you give the benefit of doubt, you can choose helix angle. Next, eye bolts. So these are eye bolts are used for what? So is it a locking device or transmission of power or absorption of shocks and vibrations or lifting and transporting heavy pieces? So what is the correct answer? Actually, this is your lifting and transporting heavy pieces. Okay, right, friends. So we can here categorize. So keys can be categorized into locking devices. Your belts, pulleys, gates, and couplings can be classified as transmission of power transmission elements, and springs and dampers can be categorized under absorption of shocks and vibration elements, or shock absorbing and vibration absorbing elements. What are they? Springs and dampers. Now here eye bolts are lifting and transporting. They are used for lifting and transporting heavy pieces. So the correct answer is D. This you find in the chapter bolts and nuts, screw joints in your machine design of any book, diploma or degree. Right. A bolt of M24 into 2 means that. Okay, so actually friends, these are the questions from your earlier PYQs, previous year questions for your APPSC and TSPSC recruitments starting from 2009, then I think 13, then 15, then 23, 15 up to 15 only. I think in between some 2012 also the examination was conducted. So these are belonging to various years of TSPSC and APPSC recruitments for assistant motor vehicle inspector. So you can expect some few questions out of these questions. If the examiners prefers to select the questions from the previous year asked or recruitments, but this time I am not expecting this to be done, friends, but some may be repeated, some question may be repeated. So it is better to have an idea of these questions also. This time I am expecting your examination to be very tougher. So concentrate on all the mechanical engineering portion, which is 50%, and non-mechanical engineering portion, that is your totally automobile portion. That means 4, 5, then your 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the non-mechanical syllabus, and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think so, right? Please check it. So 1, 6, 7, 8, or maybe some part of fifth portion, fifth topic also, like your fluid mechanics, hydraulic machinery, etc. Okay, so concentrate on mechanical portion and also automobile portion. So don't neglect anything. You might get, if you go by the previous papers, you are getting at least 50% of the total marks, that is 75 marks from core mechanical syllabus and 50% approximately from your non-core mechanical, or automobile engineering syllabus. So give the equal importance and solve many problems, and your problem should be of diploma standard. That means not more than 2 or 3 steps. And don't neglect theory also, right? Like for example, your motor transport organization, industrial management, then your what you call automobile body chassis transmission and your element, and then motor transport organization, industrial management, and your automobile servicing and maintenance, and also electrical part. So from these questions, from these parts, some concept based questions may be given, and from theory question may be given from your what you call industrial management, etc., and entrepreneurship. From this some theory question may be given, and special purpose vehicles theory question may be given, and automobile servicing and maintenance also some theory questions may be given. So please concentrate without fail on these areas also. If you score 70% of the total marks, friends, you are going to be selected. 70% of 450 means how much? 315. If you are able to score 315 out of 450 marks, and as this time your interview is not there, probably you add 5% more. So that means 315 plus another 10 marks, 325. If you are getting 325, you are going to be selected. Right. So coming to the friends, here this question. A bolt of M24, M means here metric thread, 24 means your what you call diameter, major diameter, and 2 here in mm, all the dimensions are in mm, and M is 2 is the pitch. So the pitch of the thread is 24 mm and depth is 2 mm. Cross sectional area of thread is 24 mm square. The effective diameter of bolt is 24 mm, and these are there are 2 threads per centimeters. Now the nominal diameter of the bolt is 24 mm and pitch is 2 mm. So the correct answer is D. The nominal diameter or major diameter, or it is DO, is 24, and M here signifies metric thread, and 2 is the pitch, that means the distance between the successive thread peaks or troughs. Peak is the highest portion of the thread cross section, and trough is the lowest portion of the thread cross section, or the shape of the threads. The correct answer is D. Nominal diameter and core diameter of the screw thread is denoted by DO and DC respectively. Then mean diameter, it is the average of DO and DC. So D is equal to DO plus DC by 2, whole by 2. Friends, here you have to remember one thing. DO and DC are observable. You can see with the naked eye. Your outer diameter, which is nothing but the solid portion of your screw or bolt, and that is the diameter of the solid portion or shank diameter of the bolt or nut. Now DC is the core diameter. That means after removing the threads, after removing the material for making the threads, its diameter is going to be decreased. That is the least diameter, or the major area where the stress is going to be concentrated, or there is going to be highest stress in the roots, right? So your core diameter will be having the least diameter, and your core diameter also can be seen with the naked eye, but your what you call mean diameter, or it is also called PCD, pitch circle diameter, is not observable. It is not seen with the naked eye. It is actually imaginary circle or diameter of your bolt or nut if you see from the side view, right? So it is the average of DO and DC. So I can mark this as DO plus DC by 2. The correct answer is D. The correct answer is D. Okay friends, in this video we have seen from good question, beautiful and important question from mission design part of or syllabus part of your APPSC, especially TSPSC AMVI automobile engineering examination. Friends, I am offering online batches. If you are interested, your examination may be conducted in the month of May or June, or probably it may be conducted after June 11th, your group 1 prelims, right? Anyhow, you are having good amount of time. I think if you are thinking of joining any online classes or batches, you may contact me on my mobile number 9912507633, and also on my email ID sridhar.people@gmail.com. Okay, friends, let us meet in the next video with yet another good topic for your Assistant Motor Vehicle Inspector AMVI Automobile Engineering Paper 2. See you and good luck.